It's time to go all in on what your soul knows and what you feel is calling you forward. It's time to answer the call. If this message found you, it's because you know that you are meant for more and that you are meant to live an amazing, beautiful, abundant, prosperous life, and that you were never meant to fit in to this old world way of being. You're meant to play and create and have fun and follow your joy and be divinely compensated for it. And it's going to require that you take the next step into the unknown that is calling you forward, that you're listening and leading from your heart, not your mind, not what's logical, not what makes sense. I promise that what is being birthed through you is beyond what your mind can perceive. It's beyond the psychological borders of your mind. The message that's coming through very clearly that I wanted to share is I know who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to ancient souls, the cycle breakers, the chosen ones, the ones here to lead new earth. And you have been conditioned from a very young age not to trust yourself. You have dimmed your light to fit in. You've never really fit in. And you have dimmed your light in order to stay safe as a form of protection. And this is over. It ends now. You are breaking free now from the shackles of survival mode, the shackles of a version of you that had to stay safe. You are safe here and now to choose what is in alignment for your highest good. And now you get to choose it for no other reason and no other purpose other than it feels fun, other than it feels good, other than it lights you up, other than it just brings you joy, that you're being called into creating something beyond anything you've ever created, and let go of the identity that was performing, that needed validation, that was showing up in certain ways, doing certain things in order to get by because that's what you've always known. Something is being birthed through you so epic that it cannot be defined. You cannot be defined. And what's coming through you, what wants to be birthed through you, is a creation that doesn't exist yet. The performance identity is burned away. You no longer fit into the old paradigm. You no longer fit into the old roles. You no longer fit into the old structures. You may still have some of those structures playing out to support your transition into following your heart. And this is not a message that you need to burn everything down. Everything will take care of itself. The frequency that you're emitting when you are playing and creating and having fun and taking the courageous action step towards what you are feeling called to do, whatever that is, the frequency of that which you are being will naturally take care of anything that is not in alignment for you. It's already been doing that. That's why you have been experiencing a lot of things falling away the last year or two or three, because everything that has been built on falsehood cannot stand moving forward. And any place that you are still clinging to an identity that feels it needs to be a certain way, where you feel obligated to show up in a certain way, where you feel that you need to be a certain way in order to have X, Y, or Z, and it does not feel in alignment for you, you are trying to put yourself back into a box that you no longer fit in. You've actually never fit in that box. Actually, I'm wearing my out of the box necklace. This is perfect. You've never fit in the box. You've never fit in the box, and now your frequency has expanded beyond whatever reality you've created thus far, which is based on the old identity. I know something is calling to your heart right now. I know something is whispering to your heart, or you wouldn't have landed here. My intention for this is this reaches the ancient souls that are here to lead new earth and create and play in the 5D and be divinely compensated for it. And this means that you are going to create whatever art and medicine wants to be birthed through you. And this is your highest contribution to humanity. You having fun, you playing, you creating. You following the call into the unknown, courageously and with faith, trusting in the unseen and taking the next step. watching reality unfold the red carpet for you as you walk it. The other message that's coming through, okay, so before I get too far ahead of myself, you have been conditioned in your entire life not to trust yourself, and you have never fit in. You've been dimming your light this entire time to gain approval, to gain validation, to gain love. You are love. The old identity that needs it outside of yourself and is seeking and searching outside of yourself is no more. It is only a choice now if you choose to play in that paradigm. This doesn't mean you discount human connection. You actually can have true human connection when you no longer need someone else to be showing up in your reality in order to reflect back the love that you already are. So it's the end of codependent love. It's the end of codependent relationships. It's the end of all of that kind of stuff because you no longer need it. And now you actually can welcome in divine connections, divine partnerships, divine counterparts, and things like that, right? So something funny when I was getting ready earlier, and I feel it's very pertinent. I'm a Zennial, just so you know. I know this is like, I'm a Zennial. I grew up in that. I was born in the late 70s. I think they say Zennials are like 75 to like 82 or 83 or something. It's a very small window where you overlap with like Gen X and Millennial, right? You are the generation that grew up without technology. If you're listening to this and you're a Zennial, let me know in the comments. You grew up without technology. You still know what it's like to not be tethered to social media. You know what it's like to have that, growing up in an age where if you wanted to see what your friends were doing, you had to get up off of your ass and walk down the street and knock on their door and see if they wanted to play, right? Now, but you also started to work with technology at an age where you were still moving into adulthood, early adulthood, and you were able to adapt very quick. So you are adaptable by nature. You were born, if you're listening to this, at a place in human history where you are very adaptable to your environment. Not only that, you're very empathic, so you're already adapting to everybody else's energy, and for a long time you took it on as your own. The message that was coming through is I had some memories drop in while I was getting ready, feeling the urge to record on this. And I remember in sixth grade, in sixth grade, that was the last year that the principals were still paddling students in the office. I'm pretty sure that would be seen as abuse nowadays. I remember as a fifth or sixth grade teacher that would walk around, and if you were caught like talking or not paying attention, or you didn't know an answer or something like that, he would literally walk around with a bat, and he would slam this wooden bat down on the desk as hard as he possibly can, like a grown-ass man slamming down a bat on a hardwood desk. It's shocking, right? So it's like these things were trickling in. It's like literally we grew up in an age where we've been conditioned not to trust ourselves, and we have been conditioned to not only, that doesn't make you trust authority figures, by the way, and also it's very fear-based and borders on abuse. I'm sure nowadays that would be just like craziness, right? To have principals paddling you in the office at sixth grade for whatever, not showing up to class on time or something silly. Maybe you were, very creative in school. Maybe you couldn't care less about the history lesson that they were teaching because you'd rather be singing or creating art or dancing or playing and having fun. This didn't make you broken because you didn't fit into a society and a structure that was never meant for you to thrive and for you to be the highest vibrational version of yourself. You have been dimmed your entire life, fit into a societal structure of what is supposed to be normal in order for you to quote unquote thrive in a world that has been manufactured by rules that do not fucking apply to you, not as a multi-dimensional being that you are. And this isn't to say that there aren't plenty of beings that are completely here to fall into line and march to those orders and fit into the status quo and follow all the rules the way that they have been written by people that have no clue who they are. But that is not you. I know who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to an ancient soul that's here to break the rules, not for rebelliousness for the sake of rebelliousness, not to be defiant for the sake of defiance, because you're here to walk in truth. You're here to honor who you are, what you are. You're here to give your deepest soul expression to the world. And this is what makes you magnetic. And this is what makes you thrive. And this is what calls in everybody that's meant to be part of your reality, whether it's a divine counterpart or a new business partner or a collaboration or whatever that aligns you with your highest timeline. But that can only happen when you fully let go of the old identity that was conditioned from a very young age to be this smaller version of yourself, operating from fear, operating from performance, operating from needing love or appreciation or validation or approval outside of yourself. You are free now. You have a fresh slate. If you are listening to this and you are a new earth human on the leading edge of humanity's ascension, let that sink in. You are not here to play by the old rules. You are here to create. There are no rules. You get to write them now. You get to live your life and you get to play and create however you feel called. I got a message on Threads the other day. I posted something similar to this. I don't know why this is coming up right now, but I'll share it. Someone said, do we just walk out on all societal this or that and abandon all societal stuff? Like, no. I replied back, you don't have to abandon anything other than every single attachment and identity that you have ever, and conditioned pattern or belief system that you have ever bought into that says you are not worthy, you are not good enough, you are not lovable, you do not have the sovereign right to pursue your own dreams and your own passions and live life on your own terms. You have to abandon every place that you were self-abandoning. That's what you have to abandon. And then 3D reality will restructure around that. You're not here to, eject yourself from 3D reality. We're here to have a human experience, but you're here to play it at the highest level. You're here to play it at the highest game, fully conscious and aware and sovereign in who the fuck you are. And you are a divinely worthy being. You always have been. Any belief or conditioning or pattern or structure or anything that's ever come up in your history or this or that. Now, of course, I'm speaking to the human now, the human history, because you have a 3D body that has been conditioned over what appears to be linear time. That is not the truth of who you are. And as you see who you are, you get to play this game at a higher level. And the body will still unwind and do its unwinding and conditioning. And now you are at a threshold because the frequency that you are now embodying cannot fit in the structures and the reality and in the world and in the programs and in the rules and in the obligations and in the places that you're giving your power away. It does not fit in that anymore. You will not be able to comfortably turn a blind eye to what your heart knows anymore. You will not be able to self-abandon anymore. You will not be able to sink into complacency anymore. It's kind of like, when they say ignorance is bliss. Yeah, you know too much now. That's kind of true. You know too much. You know the truth of who and what you are. Your essence cannot be boxed and confined. You're not meant to be in this rigid way of structuring your life, and that's going to look different for everyone, but it's going to shift everything. And that maybe some things won't change at all in your reality, but anything that's out of alignment is fizzling away. And I know the reason I hit this, that my intention is to reach everyone that is on this precipice of stepping into new earth frequency. You already have, but now really on a human level, taking the sacred action steps that your heart is calling you to make. Whatever that is. I know your heart is calling for something. Your soul is calling you forward. It has been this whole time. You had to go through the karmic, density. You had to, and you've been holding a lot for the collective on top of that. You are a leader of new earth frequency. Others will be walking in your footsteps and looking at you as an example, because you are here to be a living transmission of what is true when you fully trust yourself and you trust the unseen, and you trust the truth of who and what you are. And you are anchored in your embodied divinity, fully human and fully divine simultaneously. You are here to be a living transmission of that. And when you are a living transmission of that, unapologetically owning your truth, operating from your divine sovereignty, embodied in the frequency of who and what you are, the entire reality will restructure around you. It has no choice. and you are at the tipping point now where this is a fresh slate for you. It's time to take the action and go all in on what you know to be true for yourself, and it doesn't have to make any fucking sense to anybody that knows you, or any norm or any rule or anything that's ever said you couldn't do it, or whatever. Like, you're here not to play by rules. Look around at the world that plays by all of these rules is going through a complete upheaval right now. You're not meant to fit into that box anymore, and you don't need to play by those rules anymore. Apply this however it applies to you. Okay? Obviously, I'm speaking to the collective. It's going to apply differently, and you may have landed on this, and you may still feel like you're going through the sacred void where nothing makes sense, and you don't know what action to take, and you don't know what step to take, but you know you don't fit in the old world anymore, and you can't see the shore of your new earth reality yet either. The message here for you is that you will be shown. You will be shown. Be here now. Be here now in the present moment and trust. Quit buying into any story of limitation, lack, or scarcity, or fear, or unworthiness. Be here now. If you want support on this, you can check out the links. I help women through this 5D shift, so to speak, moving from this era of fixing and healing and becoming to being the sovereign, embodied divinity that you are. Everything takes care of itself from that frequency. You may, last thing I'll share is, you may be looking outside in the 3D reality, trying to figure out what you need to fix or figure out in order to make something happen. Or you may be looking at something that is unfavorable in your condition and then using that as an excuse to hold you hostage in whatever situation you're in. Know that the 3D reality is a reflection and echo of what you used to be, and what you are feeling in that moment. What you are feeling in that moment as you perceive your 3D reality and feel like things are not working out, that's what needs to shift. Know who the fuck you are here and now. That's what needs to shift. Despite 3D reality showing whatever it's showing you, it only has meaning to the degree that you give it meaning. You can assign any meaning you want to the shitstorm that's happening in your life right now if that's where you find yourself. You can know that this is your life's testimony, that God's testimony, that you are literally walking through your testimony right now, and start to shift the story. If you're going to tell the story, tell one that actually is true, that you are being purified and purged, and that every single thing that you think is happening that's not in your favor is actually perfectly working out for you, because it's showing you exactly where you're still lying to yourself, and if it's unfavorable, and it's giving you an opportunity to come home to the truth of who you are, unapologetically, authentically, claiming and reclaiming your sovereignty. Being here now is the portal. It is the gateway to your highest timeline, and all timelines is being here now. It never happens in the mind. It never happens in the future. It doesn't happen in the past. That's all memory. It's over. The future doesn't exist. It's just projection, and there's a million different timelines you could be hopping on right now. So if you're out there watching for proof of whatever timeline you're on, know that that is just one potential out of infinite numbers of potential. Your soul is your greatest compass. You are the guru. You come home to the truth of who and what you are and take action from that. I'm just here as a sacred mirror to reflect this back to you. You called this to yourself, because we are one. We are sacred mirrors for each other. We are both expressions of the one source intelligence. And so this is landing on your timeline, perfectly timed for you. If you're still here with me now, then trust and know that this is true for you. Anything that is happening in your reality that is not ideal, that doesn't feel good, is just showing you where you're still lying to yourself. It is echo of the past. You can be here now and confirm that story. Give it that meaning if you're going to assign it meaning. You don't get to your highest timeline by rejecting and suppressing what is. It's through full acceptance of what is. It's very paradoxical. Through the acceptance of what is and no longer resisting the present moment and trying to run from it and escape from it, or trying to, get somewhere else, or covering everything with coping mechanisms that keep you feeling temporarily comfortable or safe, primarily in a comfort zone that isn't serving you. This is all of the mind. It's trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you in your comfort zone, keeping you in familiar patterns. So you put coping mechanisms over things that feel uncomfortable because it's the one thing you don't want to feel. When you allow yourself to feel whatever wants to come up and you no longer judge it or condemn it, and you no longer assign meaning to it that makes you feel unworthy or less than, and you realize that everything has been serving you this entire time and priming you to know exactly what you want in this lifetime, what you came here to experience. And so when you're experiencing the lack or the scarcity, or you're experiencing the abandonment or the betrayal, know that this means you are here for divine prosperity and divine love. That's why you experience that. So you could choose that this is what you are worthy of receiving, and it is time to receive. You have suffered enough. You've been conditioned to suffer your entire life through your upbringing, through your childhood. I know who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to the cycle breakers. You have a new mission now. Your mission now is to thrive and be in joy and pleasure and peace and ease and flow. Unattached to all of the societal expectations of you. And everything will unfold as it's meant to when you fully come home to the truth of who you and what you are, which is the child of God. You are a creator. You are creating this, your own little ecosystem of a reality. That's how powerful you are. Don't look out there and try to figure it out. Come back here and know that you are the source of it. That you are the source of it, that you are it, that everything, you're fighting with the reality, you're trying to negotiate with the reality, you're trying to negotiate with all of these things, and that's literally an attempt to try to create separation where there is none. You are all of this. Be here now and know the divine power that lives within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Know this. Be still and know this. And watch what happens as you walk in this knowing. So I hope this finds you well, and I will talk to you soon. Namaste.